With the opening of Epic Universe now less than 1 month away, Universal Studios has been hard at work preparing all of its facilities for daily operations, including the myriad of dining options both inside and outside of the soon-to-be-open theme park. But many fans looking to indulge in alcoholic beverages and food options at Bar Helios, the rooftop bar atop the adjacent Helios Grand Hotel, might in fact be disappointed, and not just by the expensive appetizers, but by the outrageous price to park. Let's talk about Universal Studios' new bar that's causing quite the stir on social media for many of its eyebrow-raising decisions for both its food and its operations here on That Park Place. Now, here's the thing, Marvin, you bring up restaurants at Epic Universe, and I will agree, I think Universal has definitely stepped up its food game, and it is awesome to see because, well, more options means a better experience for guests, I believe. But I want to bring up this story, and it's not going to be, I think we have some criticisms about how Universal is handling this. Now, I kind of understand why they're doing it, but it's not the greatest look, I would say. But here you go. Here's Universal Parks News today, and I'm going to bring this up first, then we're going to go to Disney Food Blog. This is for their, their Helios Grand Bar that's in there. I believe it's called, Bar Helios, their new rooftop bar, okay? And you can kind of see the food offerings that they have here, and you can take a look at the decor that they have here as well. Now, if you scroll down, you can see their cocktail menu, which, is on the higher end, but obviously not out of the realm of theme parks. And then you actually see their food offerings here. Heritage crispy chicken wings, for example, $24. You're thinking, okay, well, that's definitely on the high end, but perhaps they make up for the portion sizes. I would say no, because that $24 plate of wings right there, they only give you 6 wings. That's $4.
Really?
Chicken wing.
Are they exceptionally good wings?
I will say for all of the menu items that they list here, they are of pretty decent quality in terms of the chosen ingredients and the flavors that they've chosen. But it's a lot. Let's see here. I believe the charred octopus is $25, which I believe is a menu item that they have been advertising itself. The shattered rose, for example, I think they freeze a rose and you clap and the rose shatters all over your plate right there. Apparently not very good, but presentation is something. You can see right here just some of what has been featured in picture form. But go ahead, Mark.
Charred octopus is a thing that I would expect to cost like $20-something because it sounds impressive. Chicken wings, maybe not so much.
Yeah. A lot of people were marking on the rather small portion sizes on some of these dishes, and I would agree with you, Marvin. I think some of these things are like, okay, they make more sense because of the ingredients chosen. Other things, I just don't know. I think they're shooting for the stars here, which I don't know. That goes along with Celestial Park, right?
So, look at everything that you're getting with Epic Universe. Look at the presentation here, because this is where, I don't mind paying top dollar for really exceptional things. My issue with Disney's price hikes in recent years has been there's no value there.
Oh yeah, have you ever had the pizza at Disney? Unless it's like quick service pizza, I should say, at Disney.
Yeah,
it is worse than cafeteria food.
Yes, 100%.
I think people were. Oh, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say it's all about the value. So if I'm getting an experience, if I'm getting an exceptional, top quality item, I don't mind paying more for that because all magic comes at a price, dearie.
Yes, all magic does come at a price.
A Once Upon a Time reference.
It was. I love the first few seasons of that show.
Yeah. That one falls off hard, doesn't it?
Oh boy,
really bad, terrible. But
this looks good. This pork belly confit, that looks good.
It does, and I will say Universal has definitely stepped up its game when it comes to offering these very luxurious delicacies, which is great. Again, though, magic does come at a price, and to actually park at the Helios Grand in order to take advantage of these things, well, you're going to be paying a little bit of a pretty penny. There you go. So Universal did respond to somebody who asked about these questions, and here was Universal Orlando Resort's response, I believe, from Facebook. Hey, Danielle. Non-registered guests who dine at Universal Helios Grand Hotel and spend a minimum amount at select venues can have their parking validated. To do this, a minimum of $50 must be spent at Bar Helios, which, to be honest, it's not that much, right? You get a cocktail and you get one of those appetizers right there. You could be looking at that. $75 must be spent at Flora Taverna if you're dining there. Please be advised that this only is valid for 4 hours. That's
okay.
very, very crucial. And if parking exceeds 4 hours, a normal daily self-parking rate of $125 will apply.
Whoa.
I'm gonna push back on this.
See, this is why we bring this up.
Well, no, I'm pushing back on the fact that people are going to be outraged about this. I actually think that makes sense, because typically, like, what, at the Disney resorts, if you are, if you have a restaurant reservation, you can park for free. At the minimum spent, what that does is it makes it so that you are not like saying, oh yeah, I'm going over to the Bar Helios, and then you just park there and then you walk into Epic Universe from the private entrance. They're trying to dissuade that, because look, I will admit that in my younger, more carefree days, I have pulled up to the Polynesian and been like, yeah, I'm going to Trader Sam's, and then I just hop the boat and go to Magic Kingdom. People can, there's a perfectly fine parking garage right there for you to go to Epic at, and then you could walk from Epic into the Helios Grand if that's what you want to do. I don't have a problem with this, or parking lot.
But this is not, but they have that exact thing in mind when they put in 125 or 120 here. It's also not the only place that they have those ridiculous parking fees at.
Yes, that is true. We saw with the Stella Nova and the Terra Luna that they were enforcing a pretty strict parking, I guess, price as well, in order to dissuade people from parking there too. And you can see right here, this is the parking lot for Epic Universe, and I've counted every single one of these spots, and it amounts to a little over 4,000 spaces. So just under 5. And I guess for a park this in demand, with amenities as robust as they are offering right here, I think that's a little low for this park. And you can kind of see right here how full the parking lot actually is. And again, they're only operating at like, 15, 20, maybe 25% capacity on these preview days. This is from BioReconstruct, by the way. I don't know. I worry, and that's why they're aggressively charging that much for parking. So, I'll say with the 4-hour restriction, that restricts people from maybe wanting to go there and wanting to stay for like fireworks and so forth, which is why they're maybe enforcing that as well. It's just, I don't know. I think that's a big inhibitor for some people from dining at this location, but you are spending top dollar when you do. Go ahead, Marvin.
I was gonna say I'm really surprised they didn't build parking garages the way they have over at the other park.
Right.
Especially because those parking garages are so popular. Like, people, there's nothing like parking in the ET lot and getting out and hearing the do 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 do. Like, it's one of my favorite things that they do is the themed parking garage.
Yeah, and we know that this plot of land, Culture, maybe you can speak more on this. This plot of land can support multiple parks. So it's kind of weird that they didn't start out with a parking garage in this space. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know, what you're looking at becomes Park 3 at some point, perhaps. I'm not sure. But Culture, why wouldn't they have gone with a parking structure out the gate for this park?
I think that they have the mindset. They're of the mindset that a lot of people are going to stay on property, and that those that aren't are going to get ride shared in. Ride sharing has become very popular with a certain generation of people. I prefer to either drive myself or walk over from a hotel. So, that wouldn't necessarily be my bag, but they have a lot of expectations of the audience that they are delivering to. I think that they're underestimating the fact that they're going to get a lot of families, and that these lots will fill up. But I also believe that in the next development, because of the land that they control, as you mentioned before, that will include parking garages, and it will have an easy transportation option to Epic Universe from the added park, which I think, honestly, maybe only 3 to 5 years from now before we're talking that one up as well. I can't imagine they're going to sit on their hands while they're eating up market share from Disney and Comcast. There's a what's his name, Brian? I think Brian over there is not a huge fan of Disney right now, and I think Brian wants to replace Disney as the key entertainment destination for theme parks. But maybe Jonas could speak more to that.
No, I think you're right. And imagine if Disney actually had some restraint and worried more about delivering a quality product to the audience on a regular basis. That's the kind of the what if scenario we're seeing here. Also, the Valiant Renegade channel, by the way, is going to have we're going to be watching the Comcast earnings call, and this should be the first one where, well, since people have actually been in Epic Universe, I imagine they're going to really be bragging on that park. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. It's also the first after the confirmation of the Universal UK park. And if they do the same kind of hype for the Universal UK park that they did for Epic, I think it's going to be a very interesting earnings call to see the your local cable provider also do a little pixie dusting on the call and bring up their theme parks.
Now, if you're looking at the quarters here in the lead up to Epic Universe, there will be a lot of expenses associated with getting this park operational. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at the numbers, especially from the theme park division. If you're expecting like, oh, look, the momentum is trending in the right direction here, it might be a little bit inhibited until obviously Epic Universe officially opens.
When you see that, Vash, when you see this repeating role that we're showing right now, right there for the hotel, doesn't that remind you of like Disney Springs, only better?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like everything now is like, hey, that kind of is reminiscent of Disney, only better. Like, in my mind, when I see this design, I'm thinking about, remember that pizza place in downtown Disney in California?
Yes.
And all the intricate steel work and everything else, wrought iron and all that. That's reminiscent of that. So it's like there's a lot of like really great ideas from other places that are just done better here.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think Epic Universe has been really well thought out, and I am very interested and keen to see how operationally this whole thing works because, there are arguments to be had against a portal type setup and layout, but I think for immersion, I think there's just no better way of going about this. I think it's just been really, really well laid out from an experiential perspective, especially for guests and so forth. So I think it's going to be really, really awesome. I just want to go ahead and bring some of this stuff to your attention because, well, some people might be like, hey, let's go to the Helios Grand and take a look at this new bar. Just know you're gonna be paying top dollar for that privilege. Now, some people were saying also too, for their I guess their top tier annual pass, it provides them parking. I think at one of the garages over there at Universal proper, right? I think the north of the property, if I'm not mistaken. And then they were jumping on buses.
Pass. Yeah, annual. I was just literally just about to say, annual passes get you access to the parking garage, and should obviously there's no annual passes for Epic yet, but you should easily be able to just park at the garage and then take a bus over to the Helios.
And that's what a lot of people are doing, especially to get around that 4-hour restriction right there. It's definitely fascinating to see what choices are being made from Universal's end in order to not only monetize this park, but to also provide a fantastic experience. Is this live member for 12 months? Are we blind?
Are we blind? Deploy the garrison!
Deploy the likes indeed. Plus, parking garages are an investment of hundreds of millions of dollars, not lightly taken. Now for the most important news of the day, Bethesda has released Oblivion Remastered. Yes, I saw that tweet right there and I was like, uh-oh, how is that going to impact our ratings for this show because they were live streaming on top of us? Well, looks like we're doing pretty good, so that's awesome.
Hey, the parking garages at Disney Springs, are those funded by taxpayer money? Because it's
yes,
they are.
Yeah. And
let's say some parking structures are taken lightly.
Disney taxed without representation all of the people that were their residents, not even their residents. They put in a puppet board and had that puppet board tax everyone, and there were 57 different constituents in that area that had no say in taxes while also paying rent to the Disney company.
Indeed. So I think Marvin got it right at the head right there. Some are taken lightly, and they can just do whatever they want in whatever circumstance they choose. Speaking of choosing, though,
I would say I love how I brought that up, and the three of you pounced on it.
Oh man, it hacks me off.
Yes,
I'll also say that Universal has their own. It's not a special taxing district; it's a special commercial district. And at the end of it all, they will be handing everything over to the citizens of Orange County. So it's it's a completely different animal, and in Florida doesn't do it like that, like they used to in the 1967. There, and there's a good reason for that. If Reedy Creek was a good idea for everyone, then more districts would have been given the power to sign over extra governmental authority to a corporation like Disney to do that. There's a reason that only one place in America ever did it. So
yes, well, and it took a special circumstance and a special man in order to get that deal. But look, if the Reedy Creek Improvement District was built to improve the district, well, it had been improved. So mission accomplished, and now we can change things after the fact. Stacey Perry with the $5. We just did a preview and I cried. Epic is beautifully amazing. Just be prepared to do lots of stairs within the land and or queue. Yeah, indeed. I have seen the two-tiered nature of Nintendo World. So,
have you been to the park in California? It's like escalator and stair fest.
Yes, that's a good point. Actually, the only 2-level theme park out there. Hang in with Erica and Raph with $10. By the way, thank you so much, Erica, for joining us here. They can't build parking garages due to Lockheed Martin due to, quote, OPSEC reasons. Lockheed contains, quote, top secret stuff. Looking over into their property from any height is a risk. Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
not have guessed that.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that, as I extend the show longer to make Jonas uncomfortable, but not to mention the fact that eventually Lockheed's going to hand that over to Universal. Lockheed's going to be moving soon. So,
all right.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.